You should be appreciative for being allowed to sleep inside the house," my mother-in-law shouted to me before she left. The only thing prepared for me in the drafty corridor was not a bed, but a piece of cardboard and newspaper. Upon seeing this, I shook with anger and silently left my in-laws' house. I knew I shouldn't have come in the first place. As I drove along the pitch-black country road, I was left to ruminate on my disastrous marriage. I had married Peter 2 years ago. We both worked hard, just bought our house, and our marriage was in a good state. We would often talk about having kids next. However, our relationship with the in-laws wasn't exactly smooth sailing. Peter's parents ran a traditional restaurant, but it seems that my mother-in-law wasn't happy that we weren't helping with it, let alone refusing to live with them. She also couldn't accept the fact that I was continuing my job after marriage, and she would call just to express her distaste whenever she had time. "When will I get to see my grandchild's face?" "We've just built a house, so we're going to take it easy for a while." "Do you even understand your age? Quit your job right now and focus on making babies." "I'm only 32, don't worry." "In our time, they said a woman loses her value after she turns 30. If you don't hurry up, you won't be able to have a decent child." Why would you say such a thing in this day and age when there are many older mothers? "I don't want a grandchild who's not normal." It seems that my mother-in-law's way of thinking stopped at an older time, and she wouldn't listen no matter how much I told her that times have changed. "Besides, you're going to live with us and take over this restaurant someday, so if you're going to have a baby, it must be a boy." "We have no intention of living together, and we don't care about the gender of our child." "I'm not asking for your opinion. This is a decision." I was so angry at my mother-in-law's selfish remarks that I immediately reported it to my husband. But my unreliable husband's response was always the same. "Just think of it as an old woman's ramblings and let it go." I was also frustrated with my husband, who wouldn't stand up to my mother-in-law. But since our house is a 2-hour drive from the in-laws, we don't meet very often. I decided not to worry about it and let the living together matter fade away. But that turned out to be a big mistake. One day, my husband decided to go to his parents' house for the weekend without asking me. It's not a holiday, so why the sudden rush?
"My mom insists on it. It's a done deal, so can you please get ready?"
said my husband. A sinking feeling settled in my gut, but looking at Peter's apologetic face, I couldn't bring myself to say no.
"There's a place near my childhood home where beautiful flowers bloom. Let's go see them together. You should bring your grandpa's old camera with you."
All right. I could tell that Peter was trying to be considerate. It gave me a small measure of comfort. However, as the weekend arrived, my foreboding proved to be completely accurate. "First, we're going to start with weeding the garden." "What?" "Stop staring into space and start moving," she scolded, grabbing my luggage at the entrance as soon as we arrived. "Wait a minute, why do I have to do this?" "It's for your training, to make you a proper daughter-in-law. If you don't listen, I'll soak your bags in the bathtub." "Wait a minute! My grandfather's old SLR camera was in that bag." Peter had disappeared into the depths of the house, and there was no one to help me. To protect the camera, I had no choice but to comply with my mother-in-law's demands. "I've been driving all the way here and I'm tired. Can't I rest a bit?" "Just arrived and already trying to slack off? What an impertinent daughter-in-law you are. You need to learn your place. Now, get to work." That marks the beginning of a literal day from hell. After weeding, she handed me a mountain of laundry that seemed to accumulate over days. "There's a beautiful creek nearby. Go wash these there." "Wait, don't we have a washing machine?" "We do, but I'm not going to let you use it. Do it properly with this washboard." She tossed me the washboard, which I picked up with a sigh. It seemed she had deliberately accumulated the laundry for this day. I ended up going back and forth between the house and the creek multiple times. 2 hours later, I finished the laundry, exhausted. But without even giving me a chance to catch my breath, She assigned to me to clean the house and the family restaurant. Next, clean the bathroom. Where are the cleaning supplies? You don't need any. Clean it with your hands.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm serious. Wash every corner by hand, and in the end, use this clothing you brought as a rag to wipe it dry. With that, my mother-in-law pulled a piece of clothing from my luggage and tossed it at me. I couldn't bring myself to clean the toilet barehanded, so I reluctantly used my own clothing as a makeshift rag. I couldn't help but wonder why this was happening to me. Even after that, I was treated like a maid by my mother-in-law, while my husband Peter was nowhere to be seen. While I toiled away, Peter was playing chess and drinking with his father during the day. By the evening, when I was finally allowed inside the house, Peter was completely drunk. Please do something about your mother. She's using the luggage she took from me as a means to boss me around.
I know. I told her that your precious camera is in the luggage, so if she took it, she could get you to do as she says.
What?
I've always been bothered by your attitude.
What do you mean? Haven't we always been on good terms? I didn't understand what Peter meant and was confused. We were building a new house and even considering children.
I built the house for my parents. Eventually, we'll inherit the family restaurant and my parents can enjoy their time in the convenient city.
What? You must be joking.
That's what I really think. Children are meant to be heirs. If it's a girl, I won't accept it, and I'll send the child to a foster home.
How could you say such a thing?
But first, we have to correct your unpleasant attitude. My mother can train you this time.
So you brought me here with that intention from the beginning?
Seems like you finally understand.
What about when you said let's go see the flowers together?
That was a lie to make you bring your grandfather's camera.
I can't believe this. This is too much. It turns out that my husband Peter was on his family's side all along. I was at a loss for words from the despair. I was made to do chores without mercy. I wasn't even allowed to have a proper meal, and it was bedtime before I knew it. Here's your bed. Late at night, the place where I was guided to was, unbelievably, a corridor. And when I saw a cardboard and newspaper in place of a mattress, something snapped inside me. Are you telling me to sleep here? You should be grateful you're even allowed to sleep inside the house. With that, my mother-in-law left. Despite my trembling anger, I held my tongue. I waited until everyone in the house fell asleep, and then quietly began to move. I had seen my belongings thrown into the shed and knew where my mother-in-law had carelessly tossed the key on the living room table. I opened the shed, retrieved my belongings, and quietly left in the car. The next morning, while relaxing at home, I heard a loud ruckus at the front door. My irate husband had returned with his parents in tow in the family car.
What were you thinking leaving like that?
As soon as he stormed into the living room, Peter began yelling at me, spitting words of rage. Behind him, I could see his parents, their faces red with anger. I was told to sleep on cardboard and newspaper. I'd had enough, so I came home.
What's the big deal about that? A wife should see her mother-in-law as an absolute authority. You have to obey whatever she says.
What kind of outdated mindset is that? Are you out of your mind? Peter's unbelievable justification. Yet from behind him, his parents began to back him up. How dare you speak to your husband like that?
Peter, dump this good-for-nothing.
Unaware of the regret that would follow, they both began to attack me. Encouraged by his parents' words, Peter finally uttered the forbidden words.
I want a divorce from my selfish wife.
His face looked ridiculous as he snorted in a triumphant way. I held back a laugh and calmly responded, I'd be happy to grant you a divorce, but you'll be the one regretting it.
What?
If we divorce, you'll lose the financial support I've been sending to your family.
Financial support? What's that? What? I thought that was assistance from Peter.
My father-in-law was shocked by my words, and my husband looked as if he'd seen a ghost. I heard from your father that the traditional restaurant's business has been tough, so I've been sending about $1,000 every month under your name, Peter.
I had no idea that our restaurant was not doing well. What? A fancy restaurant opened near us and stole all our customers. Didn't you know that? I just assumed that you were transferring the money. I don't know anything. What's going on?
Well, if I told you who only brings home $800 a month, you would just say to send them money from my earnings, right? My husband, who always wants to appear good in front of my in-laws. If he knew the restaurant was struggling, he would undoubtedly try to send more money than he could afford. To prevent that, I was secretly sending just about $1,000 from my salary to him.
Wait a minute. You only make $800 a month. You should be working at a top-tier company, shouldn't you? Why is your salary so low?
About 3 months ago, he quit his job on his own, saying he wanted to focus on housework because I make good money. I protested as we had just bought the house. So now, Peter works part-time at a supermarket.
Hey, we agreed not to talk about that.
As my husband panicked, a new fact came out of my mother-in-law's mouth. So that's why you started begging me for pocket money?
What's that? What's going on?
Oh no, I messed up. It turned out that Peter had been begging his mother for money. My mother-in-law, fond of her son, had been giving him pocket money every month, secretly from the father-in-law, even though she knew the restaurant was in a hard situation. She was panicking for saying something unnecessary, but it was too late.
You knew we had no money, didn't you? And yet you've been giving pocket money to Peter?
It was just a little. Really, just a little.
Yeah, like $500 a month or $800. That much? No wonder we're short on living expenses.
It seems like I was already out of the loop and a quarrel began. I thought we were managing, even though we said the business was tough. I had no idea the living expenses you gave us every month came from Anna.
You two are doing whatever you want. What will you do when the restaurant goes bankrupt? I'm not to blame. I didn't know the restaurant was in such a situation.
I was fed up with the never-ending argument. Excuse me, if you want to have an ugly family feud, please do it at your own home. You should leave now. What? The one who should leave is you. If we divorce, this house will belong to Peter. Unfortunately, the house is in my name, and I'm the one paying the mortgage, right? You think Peter, who only brings home $800, can handle the payments? You should just use your savings. Half the assets should go to Peter in the divorce settlement. All the money we saved as a couple was used as a down payment for the house, so we're broke. I calmly countered, leaving my mother-in-law unable to utter a word. That's when my father-in-law intervened.
Regardless of whose name it's in, the house belongs to both of you. Just sell it.
While Peter has rights to the house, I inherited the land from my father before we were married. I have no intention of selling it.
What? A house without land? Who's gonna buy that?
Hearing the conversation between me and his parents, Peter realized he would lose the house we worked hard to build if we divorced. Panicked, he blurted out the unthinkable.
Let's not get divorced.
What?
Let's forget about all of this and continue living as a happy married couple.
What kind of nonsense is that? After you and your mom ganged up on me and put me through hell, you think we can just let bygones be bygones?
I won't sign the divorce papers.
Then I'll take you to court if I have to. I don't intend to let you step foot in this house again.
Don't say that. We fell in love and got married, remember?
You betrayed me and did the unthinkable, remember? There's no way I can continue being married to someone like that. Realizing his pleas were falling on deaf ears, Peter mumbled,
I can't believe this.
Enjoy your fall from grace as a happy family then.
Please don't abandon me.
With a pathetic look on his face, Peter clung to me in a last-ditch effort. His parents even fell to their knees, but I showed no mercy and kicked all three of them out of the house. After that, I immediately hired a lawyer to divorce Peter, ensuring the house and all assets remained mine with no property division. We agreed that he would not contact me at all, effectively severing all ties with him and his family. I heard that without my financial support, Peter's family was forced to close their restaurant. It turns out his father had been in debt for the business, and now debt collectors were constantly on their doorstep. Peter now spends his days working construction and his nights at a convenience store to make repayments. His father has taken a part-time job at a diner, and his mother has started doing piecework. I heard they're barely scraping by. As for me, I've invited my parents to live with me, and we're enjoying our days together. My work is going well, and I'm starting to build up savings again. I'm thinking of going on a trip with my family soon.